Okay, this is the new moon report for December 1st, 2024 at 1:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. So I'm sorry for the delay, but today was my mother's birthday and my birthday, but I still want to get this out because it's an important report. So let's get started. Okay, the sun and moon are in Scorpio Ophiuchus on the royal star of Antares, which is the heart of the scorpion. In its highest expression, it's the energy of Archangel Uriel, which is explained in the video I did yesterday. In this chart, it is combined with the energy of Eris, then Mercury retrograde is on the exact location where Ophiuchus crosses the ecliptic, all in the third house in the Eastern Standard Time. If you are not currently in the Eastern Standard Time zone, or that is the New York City time, you can adjust the house placement for this interpretation for your time zone. You do this by simply turning the chart house dial one house for every 2-hour time difference from where you're standing right now. Turn the house dial counterclockwise if your daily sunrise is before New York City sunrise, and turn the dial clockwise if your local sunrise is after New York. Okay? Simple enough. The sun conjunct the moon in Scorpio Ophiuchus in the third with Eros, and then Mercury retrograde on the leg of Ophiuchus that is the leg that crushes the scorpion, that kills the scorpion. In its highest expression, this will be a period influenced by a focus on searching for one's inner truth, what one values internally, the development of the awareness of the power of connecting to source through a process of killing all toxic emotions, thoughts, and motivations, purifying one's energetic body through practices like chakra cleansing. With Mercury retrograde, the messenger of the gods, on the leg of Ophiuchus, it is a good time to work on the learning how to connect with the divine through inner work such as raising one's kundalini. A lower expression of this energy would most assuredly include some form of loss, pain, or suffering from communications with toxic people in your life. Through inner work, a transformation, the ability to rise above any hurtful or toxic people in your midst. Ophiuchus and the tail of the scorpion influence the start of the fourth house in Eastern Standard Time, meaning if there is a loss at this time, the transformation will have something to do with your emotional roots, your childhood home, your more nurturing parent, and or if you are an adult with children, your home now. You are your partner, whomever is the more emotionally nurturing parent to your child. The fourth house energy quickly changes to Sagittarius with Lilith on the galactic center, with Pallas Athena high in Ophiuchus, followed by Ixion, and then Phlos and Quaoar conjunction. Lilith in the galactic center is an area influenced by all three energies, the end of Scorpio, Ophiuchus, and the start of Sagittarius. All this together brings a period in which the universe is asking us to identify dark emotions needed to be transmuted into light. Pallas Athena is also highly activated, giving us the will to fight, to ascend out of this darkness, to start to look at our emotional roots from a higher perspective. The fourth house ends with Venus still in Sag, which signifies our ability to regain balanced emotions during this period. The fifth house starts with Ceres in Sagittarius, and Pluto is in the gap between Sag and Capricorn, being influenced by one of the most powerful stars in the sky, Altair, in the constellation of Aquila. So Aquila, which I've spoken about in previous videos, it is also in the galactic center, which runs here through Scorpio, Ophiuchus, and then Aquila up to Altair. So as you can see, this is symbolic of the transformative journey from Scorpio, right? When Ophiuchus steps on the scorpion and kills the scorpion, right? So this is when you rid yourself of toxic emotions and thoughts and so on and so forth. And you start the journey of transformation. The highest expression is here in Aquila, which is an eagle. So, as mentioned, Pluto, which is the co ruler, Mars being the traditional ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, the ruler of Ophiuchus, being here on this point of Altair is very significant during this Scorpion Ophiuchian new moon, since it is the highest expression of the ascended Scorpion. To have Pluto on this star at this Scorpio Ophiuchus new moon, this underscores the need to transform any and all of our toxic emotions, thoughts, motivations at this time and transform them into something more balanced and able to be supportive of others despite our differences, to be able to rise above it all. The energy of the fifth house quickly changes to Capricorn. However, where we see Charlico, it has already entered into the stars of Aquarius. There's a combined energy here. Shows us that committing to a higher understanding, a higher perspective of the situation, the issue that is causing the toxic emotions. The sixth house begins with Capricorn. Then it immediately changes to Aquarius with Saturn, followed by Nessus on the vertex of the new moon. This placement where the sun's ecliptic crosses the celestial equator, crossing the local horizon, is often a very powerful force in any chart. The sixth ends with the energy of Pisces. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces show us that we must work on listening to working with our higher self to gain insight as to how to best establish solid footing with the person in our environment who is causing us issues at this time. Pisces starts the seventh house with Neptune retrograde, followed by Aphrodite near the North Node. This whole chart is underlying the need to go within to connect with energy, the wisdom of divine source. However, you do that best to get the guidance you need to best deal with a new way to create pleasurable one-on-one partnerships in your life. The seventh ends with Chiron, followed by Hygieia close to Eris, on the eighth house cusp, all still in Pisces. Emotional wounds have come from the one-on-one partnerships. The emotional body is an energetic body. So it affects our spiritual body, which is energy, and our mind because our thoughts are energy too. The only way to balance this is through some form of energy healing, such as chakra balancing, Kundalini, yoga, tantric practices, acupuncture, reflexology, Tui Na, Tai Chi, or simply listening to solfeggio frequencies while you sleep. The eighth house is important since this is a Scorpio Ophiuchian new moon. The eighth house starts with the energy of Deianira, close to the constellation of Cetus, the sea monster, which I spoke about in a previous video. There has definitely been some form of neglect or abuse in an intimate relationship, which would include lovers, spouses, partners, but also parent-child relationships are incredibly intimate, and also very close friendships. Anything that is causing the toxic emotions, the new moon is focused in supporting you to uproot at this time. The eighth house energy changes to Aries, then to Taurus, with Uranus retrograde on the cusp of the ninth house. This shows us that we must start to fight to get out of any dark thoughts that we have. We must learn to hear and follow our inner voice, trusting it will guide us better than vengeful thoughts will. Taurus energy starts the ninth house with Sedna. You must realize the value of universal lessons your emotional suffering has given you the opportunity to learn. Jupiter retrograde is in the combined energies of Taurus and Orion. Here we can use our expanded awareness of our inner world with Amor and Cupido or Cupid conjunct at the top of the chart. We can use this new awareness, this expansion to reconnect with the emotions of love and start to think more positively and emanate positivity instead of darkness, which dark thoughts cause. Orion's energy starts the 10th house, which quickly then changes to Gemini energy with chaos. So don't worry if people continue to be two-faced or are still communicating with you in a non-constructive manner, or you them. Gemini only just starts the 11th house with Cancer in the middle with Mars and Varuna. Showing others in your midst will see the truth of the situation. They will help you to appear stronger and in control of your emotions when in public at this time, which is good during the holidays. The 11th house ends with the energy of Leo, which will bring you great joy at public gatherings at this time as well. Leo color energy colors almost all of the 12th house, starting with Atropos conjunct Regulus, the energy of Archangel Raphael in its highest expression, showing us the best way to find joy right now is to go with the flow, to do spiritual practices, breath work, yoga, meditation, to find and stay in your emotional center. The 12th house ends in the EST on the ascendant in early Virgo, conjunct Fortuna. So you appear to want things to be perfect this season. Virgo energy flavors all of the first house at this time, which is also packed with the energies of the South Node, which shows a need for us to let go of perfectionism at this time in all things, especially trying to appear perfect to others and expecting our closest relationships to look perfect too. Maki Maki, followed by Nemesis conjunct Vesta, shows us it would be best if we, instead of trying to appear perfect, we should take the lessons that we've learned from this toxic relationship and rise above the emotions, the negative emotions they have caused us. The second house is first influenced by Virgo. The valuing of perfection is not sustainable at this time. It will never lead to happiness without addressing the emotional issues that are deeply rooted. With Juno and Estrella, use your wisdom, as they said here with Maki Maki. Use your wisdom from your past experiences in dealing with negative people or emotions. There are good, bad, and bad aspects in everyone. So do yourself a favor and rise above the holiday season drama. Halfway through the second house, the energy changes to Libra. So if we learn the value of harmony in all partnerships, learn how to stay emotionally balanced once we possess this inner peace of mind that we will gain through the transformation during this Scorpio Ophiuchian new moon. Once we possess this inner peace, this peace of mind and balanced emotions, that is what will lead to greater wealth in all areas of our lives. I just wanted to point out the retrograde planets. We have Mercury retrograde, we have Neptune retrograde at this time. We have Eris retrograde. We have Uranus and Sedna retrograde. And we have Jupiter retrograde. And we have Varuna retrograde. And also a few asteroids and centaurs. And this is just underscoring the energy at this time to that it's more introspective rather than active. So this is also underscoring what the energies are asking us to do within this Scorpion Ophiuchi new moon. All right. So let's look at the harshest aspects of this chart. Okay, the harshest aspects blocking our ability to go inside to root out any toxic emotions, thoughts, or motivations we have been having in response to a toxic relationship, what has been affecting us, our emotional health and well-being at this time. Okay, we have a forceful plow caused by the opposition between Nessus conjunct the vertex in Uranus in the sixth, opposing the forces of Orcus in Leo in the 12th. If a person is unable to harmonize the energy of this opposition, the conflicting influences will block the energy of Jupiter retrograde in the ninth house in the energy, combined energy of Taurus and Orion. Here we must balance our knowledge that to better our health and well-being, that someone or some aspect of ourselves is no longer for our highest and best good. We can't just dream we're going to rebuild a toxic relationship, change a toxic person, ignore a toxic part of ourselves, and regain joy and bliss in a poisonous situation. By not taking time to listen to your inner self, you are ignoring the reality of the truth of the situation. This imbalance is blocking your ability or our ability to learn how to expand within, to learn to value universal truths that will help us survive and move forward from our current mindset into a more pleasurable and productive mindset. Saturn in Aquarius in the sixth is opposing Achilles again in Leo, again in the 12th. If one is unable to harmonize this opposition, it will block the expression of Eros, love, in Scorpio Ophiuchus energy in the third, which is very important. We discussed these energies before, but it's very important here because this new moon is about finding a way to bring positivity, love, light back into your life from a situation, a relationship that has brought a lot of darkness or negativity into your life. So it's very important to balance the energy between your dreams are actually kind of your Achilles heel. And then you have to be more realistic with Saturn in the sixth on how to actually build something lasting. And again, with Uranus, that is going to come from time spent, going within and listening to your inner self and waiting for that inspiration to come. So you can't just dream. We actually have to take active steps to do a lot of inner work at this time. Neptune retrograde in Pisces in the seventh, opposing Fortuna on the ascendant in Virgo. If this remains inharmonic, it will block the outward expression of the energy of Amor and Cupido, which is at the top of the chart. So here we go again with this idea that whatever has happened has kind of hardened your heart, your emotions, and is causing problems in your life. And here they are here at the top of and very much so to the point where it's very evident to others in your life. So it's very important to unblock these emotions and get back to positivity. And it's a really difficult situation, actually. It's important that we understand how important having positive and loving and constructive thoughts are in the larger scheme of our lives. There is a difficult grand square also. It's formed by Ixion. It's formed by Ixion here in the fourth in Sagittarius, opposing chaos in Gemini in the 10th, crossed by Aphrodite with the North Node in the 7th in Pisces, opposing, of course, the South Node in Virgo in the first. This is causing an obstacle that you see the square here. This is causing an obstacle that can actually become a blessing if it's mastered by simultaneously balancing these two oppositions. So you would have to basically practice balancing the overwhelming feeling of being kind of an outcast in your own family or home, deserved or not, and the destructive way in which you or the other party or parties are communicating to others about the situation, and balancing the need to love yourself, understanding that you don't always need to look perfect in their eyes. And this is a difficult situation, and it will take a lot of time to just, be with yourself and listen to your your inner voice. Let's turn to some supportive harmonic, but that's Scorpio and a fucus. I mean, that's what the energy is. I mean, I'm a Scorpio, trust me. I know all this type of energy far too well. So anyway, so let's look at what's supportive of this time. Okay, supportive harmonic energies. There's always harmonic energies in a chart, which are helping us remove the blockages to be and in this case, to be emotionally happier, healthier, and more positive and productive at the same time. The strongest grand trine is a water fire trine created by Pallas Athena, who is currently high in the higher Ophiuchian energy in the third, trining Dejanira at the end of Pisces in the eighth, which is then trining Atropos conjunct Regulus, which in its highest expression is the healing energy of Archangel Raphael. So this is showing us that it's supporting us to fight, to learn the energy within us, which we were just talking about, to understand the universal truth, the lessons that the toxic relations with those closest to us can teach us, to know and to know that we are fated to heal from these emotional wounds. So that is great news, especially with all the other harsh aspects and just the energy of Scorpio and Ophiuchus themselves. This first trine is then creates a grand sextile, the secondary upward pointed air earth trine that forms the shield of David comes from the energy of Haumea in the second in a Virgo to the energy of Fomalhaut, which is in the highest expression, the energy of Archangel Gabriel, going up to the energy of chaos in the 10th in Gemini. So here you see the Star of David or the Shield of David. This six-pointed star is supporting us to spend that quiet time, to connect, to source, to gain direct downloads, inspiration that can help lead us to take better care of ourselves and our emotions at this time. This is the most favorable sign that is possible in any astrological chart. The Star of David, it demands the highest quality and is asking you not to settle for anything less. It's demanding that you think in a different way. You have to be very high-minded at this time. And a lot of things will only make sense in the spiritual realm. And I'm sorry to say that if that's not your thing, but being on my channel, it probably is. It is an unstable configuration and it can give a bumpy ride and be full of contradictions. Harmony and balancing of all opposing aspects is key to receive its support and great blessings. Nevertheless, its blessings, a certain degree of its blessings will be operating whether you know how to master the energies at this time or not. But what this is showing us is that this month, despite all the work and the effort and the emotional, turmoil and the work we have to do to cleanse ourselves of any negative or toxic thoughts or emotions at this time, that there is a great light at the end of this tunnel. And if we achieve what this new moon is asking us to do, there will be great blessings as a result in all aspects of your life. So that's worth the work. Okay, so we also see a mystic rectangle, which is formed from the energy of Spica and Virgo at the end of the first, sextiling the IC at the end of Scorpio Fucus in the third, trining Hygieia and Eris, which are both retrograde together in late Pisces at the end of the seventh, which are then sextiling Amor and Cupido, both conjunct on the MC in Orion at the end of the ninth. The secret to the mystic rectangle is to achieve a balance of the two crossbars simultaneously by dealing with the planets in opposition. It is like steering with hands and feet at the same time. Once you master it, it's a great source of operational stability. For example, the person would be adept at managing conflicts. This would be a person who is able to navigate the storms of life with poise and composure, which is what the new moon in Scorpio in Ophiuchus is asking us to do at this time. This is a challenge, but a great opportunity. Don't shy from underlying issues in a close relationship. For your own emotional health and well-being, it's worth fighting for. Now is the time to go within, reflect, find your emotional equilibrium, and find an emotional and or energetic body cleansing or balancing routine to help you out at this time. This was the report for the new moon in Scorpio and Ophiuchus. Until next time, I wish everyone a divinely guided day. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.